Hey guys, it's Nick. Thanks for tuning into Long Island Wargaming, and this is game 1 of 3 at Brothers Grimm. This is also good because I know Malorian is doing his Skaven campaign for the month of January, so I'll bring out the Skaven, which isn't hard for me to do, and I'll throw 3 games up for the month, and this one is going to be against Wood Elves, which is fun. You never see them, ever. This is the first time I've played Wood Elves in years. And we rolled up the scenario, the guy coordinating the tournament. We rolled up scenario 4, which is Command and Conquer. Essentially, we each put down a marker, one in our deployment, one in the middle of the field on the 24-inch line, and then one in our enemy deployment. And then whoever commands or controls the most with the most bodies near it wins. So here's the terrain. Top left is a building, gray to the right is impassable, the 2 squares are hills, there's a water feature, and then an impassable terrain that you'll see in a second. So the top is my opponent's deployment, the bottom is mine. The red are my objectives. We took turns placing them. I put one in the middle. I figured I have big bodies. I should be fine to take it. 50-man units where he only had units of 10 at the most. And I ended up putting one of mine next to his, as you could see up to the top right, because I decide on the right of that impassable, I'm just going to send my plague monks through there and then just plant them on those two, and that's a 2-for-1 special right there. Down the middle is fine. I'm going to leave the one to the bottom left by itself because I mean, he's got these fast-moving, flying, fast cav. There's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with it, so I'm going to concentrate on the right side of the board, try to get as many of the objectives as possible because that's what I would need to win. That primary objective costs or would gain me 10 points. The secondary objective for 6 points if I beat my opponent by 300 victory points or more. And then for 4 points as a tertiary objective, if I still have at least one core unit alive, I get 4 points. So we're fighting for 20-point games. I'm playing on table 9 of 10, so you can see we have a shitty looking table. From left to right, we have a unit of 10 fast cav behind the building, 5 fast cav, or 6 maybe, 3 warhack riders, an eagle. There's a hero on foot in the forest that the Wood Elves got to deploy by themselves, which wasn't in the map that I just showed you. I forget that that guy's running around by himself the whole time, otherwise I would have been shooting at him or trying to take care of him. He has like shots. He shoots as many times as he has attacks, so the guy was shooting like 5 shots with his bow turn, which was pretty cool. We have 2 heroes on eagles, more fast cav, an eagle, warhawk riders, and more fast cav all the way out to the right. If you watch a lot of my videos, it's the same list I've used for Crossroads, so it's the exact same thing, but as you take a look at deployment here, I'll just go over something interesting quick. Brothers Grimm has a comp for Wood Elves, which is great. They give them always strike first, which makes sense as Dark Elves and High Elves have it now. They also give them strength 4 bows in close range, which is really cool. So those are the 2 things that I remember. There might have been a 3rd or 4th comp that it really helped them out, but that alone was pretty cool. For spells, I roll up Cloud of Corruption, Pestilent Breath, Wither, and Plague. Cloud of Corruption is what I really want in this game because if he gets near me, I'm just going to individually hit all those things he's got flying around, so that's great. I didn't take the dreaded 13th because there's only one infantry guy on the battlefield and it's a character and the spell's hard to get off, but that ends up screwing me for the rest of the tournament because I forget that that's even a spell that I can take. So game 2, for some reason, I never swapped out for it. Big mistake, but we'll get into that in game 2. Quick Vanguard move across the board. I was kind to my opponent. He is playing Wood Elves, so I threw him a bone. Originally, the Warhawks were a little bit further up, and they would have been the closest thing, and the Doom Wheel was just going to go over there and shock the hell out of him. So I gave him a heads up on that, and he made it so that one of the fast cav units would be closest when the Doom Wheel moves up. My Gutter Rudders are chilling there. They end up being a huge asset in this game, which is surprising because I thought they were going to get shot down immediately, and a little bit of a Vanguard move across the side here too. So Skaven turn 1, the Doom Wheel makes a run for it. He gets halfway up the field and he's going to start shocking some fast cav. Everything else lunges forward, which is great. My Gutter Runners get in position to maybe shoot down some Warhawks or an Eagle. The Plague monks are just going for that side of the table as I mentioned earlier, so I'm going to protect myself, and that bunker unit of 20 I'm going to try to get around to that other objective there next to the lightning cannon. So like I said in the introduction video, I didn't really bring my A game to this tournament and I really screw up in all my magic phases. but nonetheless, magic was skipped because everything was out of range, which is acceptable. The Doom Wheel goes ahead and shocks that unit right there and kills 3 fast cav. And to my surprise, they turn and run. The Gunner Runners take some slingshots at the Warhawks and end up killing 2 of them, or almost killing the second one, because they only have 2 wounds each. So they end up, I think, killing 2 guys, which is pretty awesome. This was a deployment error made by my opponent. He has these 2 heroes back to back, and take a shot with the lightning cannon and hopes to hit both of them because the lightning cannon is a template, so it doesn't have to kill one to get to the next like a regular cannon. So I land right in front of the first eagle, and then I roll a misfire, so it does not continue, which really sucks. All I needed was a 6, an 8, or a 10, and I would have been golden. I could have probably killed those 2 heroes, but that's a Skaven for you. So I got a little sloppy with my Doom Wheel and pretty much fed him a flank charge, which he doesn't take because, I mean, this is probably a smart move, but I was able to discourage him based on the fact that I still get D3 impact hits every turn, or like that grind attack. But toughness 6, it's, you know, it's hard to kill the damn thing. So and also 2d6 strength 3 hits, or attacks I should say, against, you know, toughness 3 low armor elves is also pretty good too. So he's going to try to weaken it up first. And when I say weaken it up, I mean send everything after it. So the Doom Wheel is completely surrounded right now. He kind of has it set up so that the Doom Wheel is going to go into the Eagle and overrun. Everyone's got their own thing with like railroading and redirecting random moves. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could have argued the fact that I could just turn him and go after the fast cav. But I mean, again, I'm trying to keep my games friendly and not be a total ass, but random move is so cheesy at times, but it's hard to also decipher what's fair and what's not. So over here we have just a move around, everyone kind of backed up actually, it looks like. So where's that hero? I don't even know where that hero on foot is. I forget that he's even running around this game. So close-up shot on this hero. Pretty cool looking conversion. I think the owl is a pretty good choice. And I did fail to mention there's like 4 or 5 heroes running around. There's a lord, of course, but there's just so many heroes running around. It's crazy. So Flock of Doom tries to get off, or does get off, onto the Warp Fire Thrower, but after armor and ward save, I end up keeping him alive, which I'm happy about. Shooting kills a couple of, or half of the gutter runners. They turn and flee. And some more shooting pops around, kills some giant rats, kills some slaves, but I mean, I've got so many bodies on the field, I don't care. And as long as I control the objectives, I'm happy to. And I just found the hero. He's hiding in between eagles and the other heroes, so he's over there. So Skaven turn 2, the Hellpit Abomination is going to go after those heroes. He needed like a 14 to get to them, which isn't easy, it isn't impossible, but he rolls really low, so he's just going to chill out over there. Doomwheel goes into the Eagle. I'm kind of hoping for a smash and then a nice overrun, and I can hit the owl from behind or on the side. It's like a 10-inch, 9-inch overrun that I got to get, and that would be golden if I could do that. And here's the rest of my movement. Everyone's shuffling up. The slaves are stuck in the water feature, which is fine because my Doom Rocket guy is just going to shoot his Doom Rocket at some point and kill some fast cav. And they're just going to sit there to hold the objectives. So if he does charge me, I don't get ranks because I'm stuck in the water, but you know what? I don't care if he charges me. That's perfectly fine by me. But the Plague Monks have an objective, however they're going to desert it immediately and head up for the 2 that are north of them. And I had the slaves do a swift reform on my right flank to go after that tree, that one objective that's currently behind the Plague Monks. So I'm going to try to snatch up objectives early game and then just sit on them. In Magic I go for a Plague, but it is dispelled. And that reminds me, he had no scroll, but he had the reroll every dispel attempt, so he was able to deny a lot of my magic just based on being able to reroll and try for double 6s or just try to get for a higher roll. So, and I completely destroy the eagle in like impact hits alone. I didn't even have to get into combat or anything. So I also did restrain shooting in my shooting phase because I didn't want to risk him blowing up, which is not hard for him to do. But I rolled a really shitty overrun and did not quite make it to the owl. And the lightning cannon is tossed into the dead pile as it blows up without fail. Wood Elf turn 2, charge on the flank of the Doom Wheel. Should work out pretty well for him. Warhawks make a round. Pretty cool looking models. I love the concept of these guys. I really hope GW goes ahead and redoes them. Although there's rumors that they might just throw a bunch of armies out the window and never update them ever again, so hopefully that's not the case, but yeah. And here is the rest of the Wood Elf movement. There's actually some closing in. They're coming in to get me. The Eagle goes ahead, of course, to try to redirect the Helped Abomination, and I'll buy it. And yeah, so the heroes are just all chilling back and taking shots wherever they can. And here's just another shot. The comp is decent. Having close range bows on everyone at strength 4 is great. It's pretty nasty. So nothing really happens in Magic. So needless to say, we move on to shooting, and this guy is going to, of course, get killed based on all those guys around shooting at him. So that was a no-brainer. But did suck up a lot of shots, so I'm not too upset about it. Some clan rats go ahead and get shot at. Some giant rats and pack masters as well, and a handful more clan rats actually die. So I was taking a lot of shots, a lot of arrows to the head there. And then into combat. I grind 2 guys, take 2 wounds, and then do a few wounds with my well, I think only maybe 1 wound with the random attacks, but he does break because he's at minus 1 or 2 from combat res with the flank charge and the charge, and I think he had a banner, so that sucked. But at 3d6 flee, he gets away, no problem. And you can see they rolled pretty low. So, Skaven turn 3. You could see I got some rallied gutter runners. These slaves are making their way towards the objective. The gutter runners, the plague monks are going to continue going around, but I keep them in a position where they're not going to see anything at this point. I don't want them to get frenzy baited away from those objectives up there in the north. Despite the BSB reroll, the Doomwheel is still making a run for it, and I'll let you know now, instead of next turn, he ends up charging it once or twice with some flyers just to cause him to flee off the board and, be useless. So, but yeah, so into the rest of my turn. The Hell Pit Abomination does go ahead and go into that Eagle. Some giant rats go up and get in the way of the fast cav. This way I don't take on too many at the same time if they decide to charge me for some reason. And one giant rat unit actually charges into the Warhawk Riders, which is fun. I end up overshooting with the Doom Rocket, so I only get the back half of this unit of 10 fast cav. So I do peel off 4, which is, good enough. For getting the comp, I thought I might be able to score an attack or 2, but with always strike first for the Wood Elves, reroll missed hits and whatnot, the Warhawks destroy the giant rats, no problem. The Eagle dies, and then the Hell Pit Abomination goes for an overrun. On Wood Elf turn 3, he goes ahead and charges into my Gutter Runners, which, they're still hanging out, to my surprise, but with their counter shot, with their slings, they ended up doing another wound to the Warhawks, so I'm down to only fighting 1, which is awesome. The Warhawks issue a charge on the Doom Wheel, and it ping-pongs around, and it rolls off the table. The hero on the Owl and this unit of Fast Cav go ahead and charge the Clan Rats. However, the Eagle fails, so it's just these guys going in, so shouldn't be too hard to deal with. And this is where the Doom Wheel died, so he's got the marker there that he can keep to try to maintain, or maybe deal with that small unit of Clan Rats, that bunker unit, because right now they're going to try to keep that token mine, or he might go try to deal with the slaves and contest that, but that's 50 slaves, and I'm pretty sure those guys will hold. Nothing notable goes down in Magic. However, the hero on foot that's chilling out over there to the left takes 5 shots into the Clan Rats at close range, strength 4, armor at -1. 5 guys die, and this guy's crazy with his shots equal to attacks. I haven't read the Wood Elf books in years. I have 2 copies of the Wood Elf book for some reason, but I don't know shit about it. So yeah, that hero's pretty cool. The Gutter Runners go ahead and remove the Warhawk, no problem. So against T3 Elves and low armor cavalry, my Clan Rats did fine. I'm attacking with 3 ranks. I got my Spear and Shield. I got a Chieftain in there. The Grey Steer is fine with his 4 board save. So I actually end up killing a handful of these guys, and they turn and flee. I don't pursue. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so I just kind of go for a reform to deal with these oncoming heroes. So for Skaven turn 4, I go ahead and make this charge. I thought it would be cute to get my engineer to go chase those guys down and have them flee a little bit further, maybe cause some panic. Nothing became of it, but it ends up becoming a risk at the end, and I'll show you why. So the Hell Pit Abomination goes after the Fast Cav, and I have my Claret unit reformed. I really was hoping for a good magic phase. I had some, tricks up my sleeve. I rolled crap, so I just went with I think I rolled 3 for Winds of Magic, so I go ahead and do Pestilent Breath onto this unit. I kill a guy or two, which is fine, but I really wanted to get off Plague and Cloud of Corruption. Cloud of Corruption could have easily killed the 2 heroes that are sitting next to that Fast Cav unit, but nope. To the right, you can see that the slaves have turned around to deal with the Warhawk, so I don't have to worry about getting rear charged. So I've got that one objective. I've got the objective in the middle of the field with the clan rats and slaves, and then you can see all the way in the back, the plague monks have that too. So I'm at this point Wood Elf 4 turn objectives 4 out of 6 so objectives. These 4 remaining horsemen go ahead and charge my MVPs, my gutter runners, and I go ahead and kill 2 of them, which is awesome. He passes his panic test on that, but hey, I'll take it. And here's where I get a little nervous. There's the all-in here on the clan rats. Now going back to my engineer, I thought it was cute, but now I'm like, shit. If these guys flee, I lose my BSB and my general. My slaves that are contesting or is holding that one objective will probably flee since they're going to only have leadership 5 and no reroll. He might be able to catch up and tie with the objectives around the board because since these guys are pretty quick, but so I got the 2 heroes in on me, and I believe there's actually a 3rd hero on foot in, and then I got rear charged with all these guys. So yeah. To my disappointment, the gutter runners actually fall in combat, and these guys overrun into the small bunker unit, which has obviously dwindled down from random shots from bows and arrows. So these guys get grinded down. I do lose my BSB, but my Grayseer is still there, and I'm happy. But I've got 3 ranks in Steadfast, so I'm on Leadership 10. So last round is called, so we're going to finish up turn 5. To my surprise, the freaking Hell Pit Abomination rolled like a solid 15 to get in this charge, which is great. You can get some impact hits and deal with that hero on the Eagle, or Owl I should say. And my engineer will sneak back into my slave unit just in case things go sour. Here's a shot of the mess, so just got guys everywhere. Winds of Magic gets rolled, and I roll a nice roll. I think it was a 10 or 11, and I 6 dice Cloud of Corruption. And everything in this shot is in range, which is crazy. The slaves, the Hell Pit Abomination, the 3 heroes, the 2 that are on Eagles, the clan rats, the fast cav, the other fast cav, the Warhawk riders, and my bunk unit. So everyone is getting clouded. Take one last quick look, and this is what we got left. Everything to the right is just dead. All the Warhawk riders are dead. The 2 fast cav fighting the clan rats are dead. The clan rats suffer some wounds, fail their panic test, and run. A wound or 2 is done to the heroes scattered amongst those 3 heroes. The ones that I needed dead, which were the Lord, the General, he didn't get hit, and then the caster didn't get hit. But whatever, it was fine. I was happy with it. In combat, unfortunately, the Hell Pit Abomination did shit. It rolled like no impact hits, and then it rolled like feed, which is like the one attack does D3 damage, but the guy ended up rolling his ward save, or maybe I didn't even get it through, but it wasn't as profound as I was hoping. So in the final moments of the game, during the Wood Elf's turn, he was able to grind my guys down to the point that I no longer had Steadfast, and my Grayseer was just slayed outright, so all my guys actually end up dying, all my infantry, and it leaves just the Hell Pit Abomination, so all the guys on the ground dead, so I don't even have a unit for these guys to finish fighting. So everyone chases the Hell Pit Abomination. So the Hell Pit Abomination gets run down. It's sad, but at the end of the day, I now have the slaves on the objective, the plague monks 50-man strong unit, and the hero and the plague furnace sitting in the corner, taking up 2 objectives, and the slaves all the way to the right taking up an objective. So I've got 4 out of 6. My opponent has none. I end up winning this game solid. So I got the 10 points for the primary objective. I did beat him by 300 victory points, so I got 6 more. And I got the tertiary, which was end the game with at least one of my core units alive. So with a solid 20 out of 20, that actually puts me on table 1 for next game, so I'm pretty excited about that. There is about 20 people playing, so 10 tables, so I guess not too many people scored perfect points, but hey, I'll go with it. I'm happy. Let's see what happens. So just some closing thoughts. Definitely a fun game. Really great guy. The guys over at this store, which I barely go to, are pretty cool. Um, Good to see Wood Elves, and good to see that they, gave him a little bit of a boost with that always strike first and the close range bow and arrows. So that's really cool. Overall, though, for this scenario and this army, just really bad matchup for my opponent. I mean, early game, I was able to control the battlefield just with my random move guys. I mean, when you have a list that just runs around in circles and flies around you and just shifts left to right and all over the place, when you have these 360 guys that are like just turning around and just controlling the battlefield, it's tough to deal with that. So, I mean, he had to gun down that Doom Wheel real early. So, but also in this scenario where you have to contest things, when I drop a 50, 60 man unit down on top of the objective, it's tough to grind them down, especially when elves don't have the firepower that say an orcs and goblins with all these hordes and attacks might be able to do or dish out. So, and no bomb spells or anything, so it wasn't like he could just knock out a unit or really mess it up. But so once I got those 2 units down on those objectives, that was it. I was good. I had the game. So, but yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.